Hello, seagull! Hello. There's a bird. I'm here in the forest, lightning, having a little meditation walk. And so now we're walking together. On these kinds of things, I find it hard not to meditate. Not in the sense that my skill level is anything special, if there is a skill level, just that it's so quiet and peaceful out here. I think it's natural for the mind to go to that place. Now it seems I've coming out somewhere different than how I entered. Oh yeah, right there. Well, we're okay. You can probably tell it's getting a bit dark, and I'll go out tomorrow to take a full meditation with you. But for now, I just thought it would be nice to say hello. Alright, so coming this way and through here. Ah, there it is. Watch this, friends. Here's a fallen tree. I don't think you can see it on that side, but now maybe you can make that out. Anyway, oh, more lightning. I hope I don't get hit or fall over. Let's see. Walking, and it's very nice here in the woods on an island off the coast of Maine. Let's just do a quick meditation together here now that we've reached a glen. Mosquito on my thumb. I think I'll sit right here. So all you need to do is sit comfortably. Technically it's already happening, the meditation, but to be aware of it, you can step back, look at the breath. Look at, I mean notice. I like to feel the weight of my body pressing into the ground. I like to notice my heartbeat. Sometimes I'll feel my wrist, my pulse. But if I get quiet, I can feel the blood pumping in my face and in my wrists. Anything that brings attention out of thoughts. The hard part is that I can't share the experience with you directly, but everybody has to come to it in their own way. I've been meditating for about 10 years and studying with teachers for about 7 years and teaching for about 5 years. And I used to get so frustrated. I would get genuinely so angry with my teachers that they couldn't just zap me into it. I don't know if that's possible. I sure hope it is. I think that sounds really cool. But it does seem that everybody has their own work to do. And it's more of an artistic process than it is a labor, though it can go any way you make it, and so laborious could be the word of the day. It was for me for a long time, and I know that's kind of a cop-out to say you don't have to do it in a difficult way, but I only got there from doing it in a difficult way. And so come along with me on this journey. Basically, I'm going to be meditating in different areas and just kind of bringing you along. And I also think it'll be fun to look at some meditation texts and some modern research papers. I'm not an expert, but I am an enthusiast, and so I'll do my best to share them as well as I can. But I'll do a one-handed bow because I'm holding my phone. Have a absolutely marvelous night, everybody. This is Noah, and I'll see you soon. Hello again. I'm on my way to find a spot to sit for meditation. And I said earlier it should be a comfortable spot, but really any spot will do. It's about, I don't know what time, maybe about 7:30 right now. And so I'm going to choose a spot in the sun, but often I'll find a spot in the shade. And you know what? I'm just going to sit. I like to tilt my butt cheeks back as far as is comfortable. I'm going to scoot forward, in fact. Scooting the butt cheeks back tilts the pelvis forward, and then it's much easier to sit with an erect spine. I'm just going to try and narrate and bring you along. And so breathing more deeply, I look for what things I'm carrying. And I don't mean by that like phone, for instance. I mean like I had an idea of how the video should go, carrying a feeling of heaviness from breakfast, an expectation for the rest of the day, things like that. Things that, while they may or may not be relevant to how the day unfolds and proceeds, they aren't permanent. They aren't source perception. Not that whatever is permanent can be immediately known, but that's one of the goals, as far as I know, or as far as for what I do. And so being aware of what I carry, or what I carried here, I just start to feel the physical sensations in my body. And so like as soon as I took a second to step back from thoughts, the novelty of it kind of came into awareness, and then there's a very easy lightheartedness, hence the laugh, and then a sigh happened naturally. And I wish I could share it, because as soon as I started to open up to being ready for the meditation to happen, It's almost like flipping a light switch, even though I guess a more apt analogy would be a dimmer, since I have my arm extended holding my phone and I'm narrating. But yeah, wherever you are, however you're watching this, just notice what happens when you start to look at the things you're doing without moving. And you can notice what thoughts are kind of echoing, bouncing around almost by themselves. But I think that we're doing them ourselves. Because if you look at the thought, don't try and reason with the thought. That's futile. If you just look at the thought, you just kind of watch it, it does start to evaporate. And the times that it doesn't, I find myself arguing with the thought, trying to reason why it should go away or why it should be different. I don't know what thoughts are. They're amazing. They're very strong. Many thoughts are wonderful thoughts. I'm not saying not to think. I'm saying that if you just look at the thought for a second and step back, it might just kind of flutter away. So I sat down, I noticed what I was carrying with me mentally, my inertia, so to speak. I felt the lightheartedness come back and the playfulness. And then what I like to do is just kind of ride that space and notice what comes up. I'm going to switch hands. And so staring straight ahead into that cove, the sun coming up, I'm just watching. It's kind of like, it's like a comparison. It's like I'm seeing this sight with my eyes, yet I'm feeling all these things inside, other than just the cove, or the perception of the cove. And so sometimes I'll use that to notice more of what's happening. From digestion, I feel like a kind of tingling because I had a big breakfast and a coffee. And the sun is making all kinds of sensations. I have heat under my sweatshirt. And even though I'm talking with you in this way, I can feel my brain, or I can feel my, I don't know what it is. See, right now I'm wanting to just drop into it. I think I'll stop talking for a little bit. So I jumped right in, and then the sensation of holding up my arm, it was like, just like drop in and then a arm. So things are always pulling, but there are moments available to meditate. It's so beautiful here. I love moss. Alright, now I don't have to flex my arms. That was an external nose pick, so don't take any offense. Oh, you know what? I like this idea. What if I were to do that? Just breathing slowly, noticing the breath, noticing what comes up. Sometimes my eyes roll back in my head. That feels good. Just watching what happens. That's where the lobster in your restaurant meal comes from. Lobster boat. And all these little things are floaties, and the different colors indicate who owns it. And they just go around all day pulling them up and seeing if anything's in there. They're called lobster pots, I think. Look at that. You know what that is? This is a raspberry bush. I know it for a fact, and please be careful if you ever eat stuff in the wild, because you can get sick and die. But I know that's a raspberry bush because I've been here before, and because my parents have raspberries at their home. And so, delicious. More sour than in the store, and more mealy, but so nice. Ooh, you scared me. Happy dog. How we doing? So thoughts still come up. Oh, I had a sensation. Thoughts still come up, but they're not the only thing in the awareness anymore. And so it's like there's some space from them, and depending on for me, depending on what's going on, the thoughts will have almost no bearing on the mental state. They'll just kind of come and go, like when you're sitting and you see one of those tiny city birds, like a chickadee, flutter down, and then it just disappears again. And sometimes, depending on what's going on or what kind of inertia I've had, the thoughts will be the predominant sensation, and that can be very rough. But that one just now is kind of going back and forth between laughing with myself about making this video for you, and then just dropping back into the sensation. Also, I want to touch on spaciousness. If you close your eyes and feel how big it feels inside your head, I don't mean literally, I mean like how big your mind feels. Sometimes after meditating for a few minutes, there will still be thoughts, but I'll notice that there's like miles, or what feels like miles and miles and miles of mental space, which is just so cool. I'm going to leave you now because this video is getting pretty long and I want to save my battery, but I might take some B-roll for you because it's so darn pretty. You know what? I think first I'll show you this. Sorry. Check this out. Look at that beautiful wet spider web. I can't tell what you can see. Darn it. Look at that, glistening. And then there's some right there and some right there. These rocks are very slippery, so I'm being careful, but I do want to show you that water. Look at that. Let's just go gallivanting for a short moment because it's so pretty. Little baby mushroom. Now we're in the woods. Oh, all right. Well, have a nice day, everybody. I'm gonna try and make a video like every 2 weeks or something, both to encourage more people to meditate, because it's one of my favorite activities. Feels very vocational, and also I would love to start hosting retreats, like being the facilitator for the retreats, and so I'm putting myself out there. But thank you for watching this. Feel free to share, and have a wonderful, wonderful life.